Coming up on Mountain News this morning, officials say if the wrong piece of copper is stolen, it might lead to big trouble at the power grid. And the Pikeville Police Department said goodbye to its police chief as the man who served the community since 2004 heads into retirement.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and a happy Monday to you, Mountain family. I'm Amelia Lee here with you on this June 2nd. We are approaching 6:30 this morning, and Megan, not the biggest fan of the fog. If I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 more times because that's just what I do. But we're not feeling it today, but the sunshine's coming out, right?
It sure is. That's the good news as we're heading through the next couple days, is while we have many foggy starts, we're going to be nice and clear all day long for the next 3 days. Here's a look at that live pinpoint Doppler radar. Nice and clear. Again, a trend that will just keep on going as we're heading into the next couple of days. Temperatures this morning will be a little bit on the chillier side, but don't you worry because those 40s and 50s will be warming up into highs in the upper 70s and low 80s. About what you expect this time of year, with even warmer temperatures popping out as you're heading into Tuesday. Let's talk about that breakdown for the day. We'll see those temperatures skyrocketing as we're heading into the afternoon, seeing the upper 70s really take hold as we're going into that 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock mark with nice and sunny skies all day long. Amelia.
Exactly 2 weeks after a deadly tornado hit parts of eastern Kentucky, another tornado touched down Friday morning in Washington County. Officials say at least one person died and more than 12 others were hurt. The National Weather Service says the damage is consistent with that of an EF2 tornado. Among the structures destroyed was the home of a family of 14. We're told 11 members of that family were at home when that tornado ripped through the community. All of them were injured. Folks in Mercer County also received storm damage Friday. One woman says she rode the storm out inside her RV. Another says the tornado tore parts of their paddocks apart and ripped their front-end shed to shreds. Pieces of it can be seen across their neighborhood. She says she's just grateful that the storm missed her house, her horse barn, and her horses. A Pulaski County man who lives in the Mount Victory community keeps plugging away at cleaning up, but says at times this task can just be overwhelming. Dale Arnold and loved ones are helping clean up his mother's home. He says they ran into his mother's bathroom moments before the tornado took the roof off the house. He says the cleanup process is moving slow, but it's moving in the right direction.
Does it seem like a task that's overwhelming?
Very, very overwhelming. I hope nobody has to go through it again. I mean, it's amazing what God will do.
Arnold says getting his mother back into a home motivates him to keep going. London Mayor Randall Weddle provided an update regarding damage assessment for homes impacted by that May 16th tornado. He says 280 homes were completely destroyed. 195 homes had significant damage. A little more than 130 received minor damage. There were 134 homes that were marginally affected and about 75 that did not have visible damage. In total, he says more than 800 homes were impacted in Laurel County alone. Well, don't forget, if you live in 6 counties, including Laurel and Pulaski, you can apply for FEMA help. Homeowners and renters may be eligible for home repairs, temporary housing, property losses, and more. If you sustained an injury or lost a loved one from the deadly May 16th tornado, you could also be eligible for medical, dental, and funeral assistance. You have until July 23rd to apply, and you can learn more at disasterassistance.gov. It's 6:33, and copper theft might not sound like a major issue, but those with Farmers RECC in Barron County say it's a growing threat to the safety of their workers and the entire power grid. The copper is not just valuable to thieves. It plays a critical role in protecting equipment and keeping the system running smoothly. Crews say when it's gone, the risks multiply fast. Scott Lester with Farmers RECC explains why stealing even a single piece can cause big problems.
The actual copper itself is not so much like a high cost to us, but the effects of stealing the copper is where the cost really comes in. And when one piece of it's missing, it allows faults, lightning strikes to travel down that could damage equipment or maybe get someone hurt. or with our employees or members of the public.
Folks in our area have seen their fair share of copper thefts too. These thefts can also lead to outages. 3 men charged in connection to a double murder in the Belfry area appeared in court Friday for a pretrial conference. Jolone McCreer, Orlando Pack, and Devon Overstreet were each charged with 2 counts of murder, 1 count of attempted murder, and 1 count of first-degree robbery after 2 men were killed and another injured near the Tug Fork Apartments in October 2023. The trio appeared before Judge Eddie Coleman in Pike County, but no trial date was set. The attorneys for the defendants asked for more time to look through evidence, and the attorney for Orlando Pack requested that the cases be tried separately. Another court date is set for July 11th. New details in the case where a former assistant county attorney was charged in connection to the death of his wife. Defense attorney for Donald Kyle Deskins are asking that any sentence he receive be probated instead of heading to prison. Attorneys argue Deskins is the primary caretaker of his 2 children, and sending him to prison would have a negative effect on them. Deskins agreed to an Alford plea deal to have his murder charge dismissed earlier this month. A man faces charges after he was accused of shooting at a vehicle behind him while he drove. It happened Tuesday night in Laurel County. Deputies say the person calling stayed on the phone with 911 dispatch until they got there. A traffic stop was later conducted on Kentucky 363. Police found 2 firearms inside of James Chadwell's vehicle. No damage was found on the victim's vehicle. Chadwell was charged with 2 counts of wanton endangerment. Staying in Laurel County, 2 people are in jail after police found suspected meth. The Laurel County Sheriff's Drug Interdiction Unit conducted a traffic stop Wednesday on East 4th Street in London. When they searched the vehicle, police found suspected meth, marijuana, and a smoking pipe. Johnny Asher of Louisville and Roberta Ann Benge of London were taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. A northeastern Kentucky state senator has switched her party affiliation. Friday, it was announced Senator Robin Webb is joining the Republican Party. Senator Webb is an attorney and a longtime legislator, first elected to the House in 1998 and the Senate in 2008. That Senate district includes Boyd, Carter, Greenup, and Lewis counties. Senator Webb was the last eastern Kentucky Democrat in the state Senate. Senator Webb provided this statement saying, quote, "First and foremost, I'm a mother, a rancher, and a lawyer with deep personal and professional roots in Kentucky's coal country. As the Democratic Party continues its lurch to the left and its hyper-focus on policies that hurt workforce and economic development in my region, I no longer feel it represents my values. It has become untenable and counterproductive to the best interest of my constituents for me to remain a Democrat." Well, Governor Andy Beshear says thanks to approval by the federal government, the summer food program will continue to provide food for about 450,000 kids ages 6 through 18 while schools are out for the summer. Children in SNAP and other assistance programs are automatically enrolled. Each child will receive a one-time benefit of $120 to purchase food throughout the summer. Transportation cabinet officials say maintenance operations on a bridge in Clay County will start soon. Kentucky 472 at milepoint 7.57 will be closed starting at 7 o'clock this morning. That area is expected to reopen at 7 in the evening next Thursday. Officials say a bridge structure is being placed with an aluminum box culvert. Those driving through the area need to prepare for delays. Well, the Pikeville Police Department spent Friday saying goodbye to its police chief, celebrating a new chapter for a man who served the department and his community since 2004. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has a look at Chief Michael Riddle's retirement.
Everybody knows he's a policeman, but what Mike really stands for is what he's holding in his hand and just the person that he is and the impact that he's put on every one of us. That will live forever.
Pikeville Police Chief Michael Riddle is hanging up the uniform.
Bittersweet, a lot of emotions. Want to miss all these people that I've been here pretty much half my life. Started here when I was 22 and 43 now, so kind of grew up here. And my son works here in the city for the fire department, so it's like my second family, really.
After more than 2 decades of serving the community, moving up in the ranks throughout the years, and serving as a police chief since 2021, the department celebrated his retirement Friday.
We will not be the same department that we are today if it wasn't for Mike Riddle.
And though he doesn't plan to let retirement slow him down, as he steps away from the force to get more time with his family,
I believe in staying busy and would like to hopefully get a job here close by where I can still get to see the same people and stuff.
He is looking forward to finding new ways to serve the place he calls home.
I guess I think the Lord blessed me with a spirit of service, and I see myself, you know, trying to do that in whatever form it may be, police or whatever.
Leaving a changed department, believing they are prepared to keep up the progress.
I'm leaving them with a kind of a challenge. I told them, you know, long ago, my goal was to leave the department better than how I found it. And I think we've done that, and I want them to leave it better than I gave it to them. So hopefully a few years from now, it's better off than what it is right now.
In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
An official announcement has not been made as to who will step into the role of police chief, but Riddle says he's handing the reins to Commissioner of Public Safety, Philip Reed.
It's a foggy start to the morning, especially as you're traveling closer to our southern counties as we're going towards Williamsburg. 2.5 mile visibility, half a mile visibility as you're traveling towards Harlan. And even though some of the cities aren't picking up on fog on this graphic, does not mean that you are not experiencing that as you're heading out the door. Here's a look at WYMT studios. We do have some higher up fog that will be making driving in higher elevations a little bit challenging this morning. I also want to highlight those cooler temperatures as we set into the low 40s here in some other places. Also seeing those 40s popping out warmer as you travel more towards our southwestern counties. Here's a look at our forecast highs for today in the upper 70s and low 80s. And as you're heading out, if you're going to travel today, you're going to have that fog this morning with temperatures again upper 40s. By the time you're heading into lunch, we're looking at temperatures at about 70 degrees. And by the time you're heading into the late afternoon, early evening, we're looking at the upper 70s still with those sunny skies. Amelia.
Well, thank you for joining us at 6:41. We have more mountain news on the way. A power couple tied the knot this weekend as actress and quarterback combined for a touchdown like no other.